Hey, I'm Audra Yankton, empowerment coach and researcher, and this is Unveil You, the podcast where spirituality meets practicality to help you step fully into your power. Each week, we'll talk about what it really means to align with your higher self, trust your inner knowing, and walk through life with grounded, soul-led confidence. Let's get into it. Hey, beautiful souls, welcome back. Today, I just want to have a heart-to-heart with you all about something that changed my life, which is the power of optimism. And I don't mean the cheesy surface level kind where you're just telling yourself something will work out just over and over again. I'm talking about sacred optimism. And by that, I mean truly tuning into the frequency of love, even when it feels impossible or like everything is going against you. And I'm also going to share, in conjunction with that, one of the craziest things I've ever pulled off just by refusing to doubt myself. So buckle up and let's dive into this topic. So, first things first, what is the frequency of love? You're going to hear me reference the frequency of love a lot throughout this podcast, which is just understanding that everything is energy. Absolutely everything you see and feel and hear, it's all energy. This is your thoughts, your emotions, and most importantly, all of the outcomes that happen to you. So, if you think about your brain being like a radio and the thoughts that you're having are the frequencies that you tune it to. Love is going to be this really beautiful high vibration. It's creativity, it's flow, it's where miracles happen. You know, if you think about like somebody that you love and the feeling that you get from that feeling in your heart, in your soul, that's love. That's tuning into the frequency of love. Alternatively, if you choose to tune into the frequency of fear, this is a really low vibration. This is where you're going to find contraction. This is where you're going to find blocks. When you're thinking in the mindset of nothing is working out for me and it never will, that is tuning into a low vibration. So when you decide to choose love, it's not just being delusional, it's actually a strategy. And just to describe again how it feels when you're feeling this is, for me anyway, this is how I very easily get myself into the vibration of love, which is I think about the moment that I had my beautiful daughter and they threw her up on my chest and I met her for the very first time. And there was just nothing like that feeling that I had felt in that moment. Just pure, unadulterated love, just pouring out of my heart and my soul, the kind of love, the kind of happy feeling that makes you tear up, that's tuning into the frequency of love. When you're coming from a reactive place and you're scared and you doubt and you fear and you kind of feel that gut pang where you're like, ugh, like that feeling, that's tuning into the frequency of fear or doubt, which, like, it's okay to be there for a second. I mean, of course, everybody has like emotional reactions and things happen, but the longer you stay there, the harder it is to kind of turn things around again. So it's really, really important that if you are able to choose the state of feeling that you're going to have, tune into the frequency of love. It will always work out for you. So, why do I bring all of this up? Frequency of love, like miracles happening from it. How is this applicable to me? You're probably wondering right now. Well, I'm going to take you back to when I was just starting grad school. So I was 22. I had just finished my undergrad degree earlier that year and was just starting um, in the middle of August. I was living in a new city all by myself. I had a long distance relationship with my boyfriend at the time, now my husband. He lived 9 hours away from me in my hometown in Nebraska, and I was out living in the Kansas City area. So if I wanted to see him or vice versa, it was going to be 9 hours one way just to get together. So there was just kind of a lot going there that I was feeling like, okay, I am so tired of this. Like, I just want to be with my boyfriend, like all young girls do. We all seemingly want to just like hang out as much as we possibly can, and can't get enough of each other. And then you get married, and you're like, oh, okay, this is chill. But at the time, that's all I could think of was just how much I missed him. The assistantship I was in at the time, which is not in grad school terms, that's when you basically sign up to work like a work study type thing in your program of study. And they usually pay for, either part or all of your tuition and fees. And then you might even make a little bit of money on top of that. It's not very much. So basically, I was getting a small hourly wage. Like I think it was probably equivalates out to minimum wage at that time. And then they were paying for my tuition and fees, which was obviously a really great deal. But it was a stressful job. Like it was a lot. They said it would only be 20 hours a week. It ended up being 40 plus hours a week. I was only one semester in, and already I was like, okay, I can't do this long term. Like, this is not going to work for me. I would rather just buckle in and get through these courses, get through my, thesis and defend that and just be done. And I started to play around one night looking at my program of study, and I hatched this 12-month plan where I was like, I actually could fit it in if I started in January, like doing the, because you only need 30 credit hours technically to get your master's degree. Well, in the program I was in anyway. I'm just speaking about my experience in my program. So I only needed 30 hours, 30 credit hours total. And I think that first semester I was able to do 9. And honestly, I remember being like, okay, that wasn't anything too crazy. Like in grad school, they don't want you to take too many hours. And also, my assistantship wasn't going to allow me to take more than 9 hours at a time. It was just the terms of the agreement. They get labor for a lot longer, and you're there getting free tuition. So that works for a lot of people, but for me, it just wasn't in line with where I wanted my life to go. So I went ahead and did all of my research. I read all of my terms and agreements for everything. I knew for a fact I was going to have to quit my assistantship because I wasn't allowed to take over a certain amount of credit hours. And then I also was going to need the department supervisor and my advisor to sign off on this new pretty crazy program of study. So I set up the meetings, and before the end of the year, so around Christmas time, I had to go and quit my assistantship. And then I went to my advisor's office where I had a big meeting with him and the department leader. And I told him about this plan. I'm like, look, I want to be done by August of next year, and this is how I'm going to do it. And I would like for you to sign off on it. They spent probably the next 15 minutes telling me what a horrible idea that was. And that's crazy. Nobody's ever done that before. Like, that's not something we would advise you to do. And I heard them out, and finally I was like, so is there any real reason like I can't do this? And they were like, well, no, I guess not. So they signed off on it. And here I was embarking on this new journey of accomplishing my master's degree in less than 12 months. It was going to be an August through July kind of thing. So um, I never even let the craziness of it get into my head though, because the sadness and loneliness I was feeling of being all alone in this city by myself without my partner was like getting to me. And I just like had to find a way to see him more, and getting done with grad school faster was going to work. So I just chose optimism. I said, you know what? Failure is not an option here. That's what we're doing. So I really enjoyed my Christmas break, and I was back home in Nebraska for the month or whatever we got off. And then I was like, okay, I got to go back to school now, and I'm going to start this new venture. So, part of what I did while I was in grad school is there were like basically two big research projects I was involved in. One of them was about lettuce. I'll refer to that as my lettuce study. And one of them that was around focus groups with women in different stages of life and their makeup tastes and preferences and stuff like that. So that was the makeup one. Was I didn't have to worry about that until the end of the year, or the end of my I guess grad program, because that was going to be part of my thesis. But there was this other project with lettuce that I got roped into that I guess I didn't really know what I was signing myself up for when I got asked to help with it. So I actually had to, in the middle of all of this class craziness, write a research paper that we'd done some, testing with lettuce and different light environments, whatever. And this paper, my advisor has me submit the abstract to this conference that was going to be in Chicago. And if it got accepted, I had an obligation that summer to represent my university and go to Chicago and present this research in poster format. So it actually ends up getting accepted. And I was like, okay, that's this summer's problem. I don't have to worry about that right now. And yeah, so I get done with that spring semester, and I was like, that was kind of hard. That kind of sucked, but it's fine. Like, I'm doing okay. And then starts my summer semester, and it was absolutely wild. All of the classes I was taking, it's like, I think I was taking like 15 credits technically, like 12 credits of coursework, and then another 3 credits I was going to get from an end of the semester study abroad that I had to do and that I'd worked out basically. It technically wasn't supposed to give me the credits until the fall semester, but I had petitioned and found a way that, like, if I do this and still come back in the fall and present, can I get the credits early so that I can graduate? And they allowed me to do that. So I had an obligation to come back, but that was no big deal. So anyway, back to the summer semester. So I found that all of those summer classes had their challenges for sure. We're talking like 16-week courses that are shrunk into 8-week timelines that are at grad level. So it was really difficult. And that degree that I was getting, that I got, had a lot of grad level stats classes in it. I think it was one per semester, but anybody that has done stats, let alone a grad level stats class, knows what I'm talking about when I say that stuff is not fun. So I'm in this stats class, and I think it was something called like blocking, which just that this blocking for stats or something. And oh my God, just saying that makes me bleh. But anyway, I'm in this class. It's pretty evident from the get-go that I have no idea what I'm doing. And this was before the COVID days, so online classes were definitely not dialed in. This one was actually kind of like a pre-recorded class by this 80-year-old professor. And I was not understanding the concepts. Like I was struggling and like so bad that one of the assignments I submitted, the professor emails me back and was basically like, "What the heck is this? This is horrible." Like I'm like, "I know, I don't know what I'm doing. Somebody help me." But anyway, so I'm in the middle of all of this, and of course, I have to go to Chicago. I'm in the middle of grad school hell, and I have to go to Chicago for a few days of my precious time and go present on this poster that I was going to do. And my husband or boyfriend at the time, I guess, he couldn't come with me. He had a pretty strict job at the time where he didn't really get time off. We didn't even have any money at all for him to even come with me. So I was like, all right, I was going to go by myself. But last minute, my dad actually was able to come with me. And for those of you that know me, you know I'm super, super close with my dad and just love everything about him. So, and he really is a huge role model in my life. So just the fact that he was going to support me in this trip that I was already pretty stressed about. Like it just meant a lot to me. And I'm so grateful that I had him there. So yeah, I get to Chicago and my dad and I like go and set everything up, whatever. We get back to I think I only had to present on the first day. So then like a whole day gone. I have this like hell stats class I'm going through. I can't make any progress on it. I have other classes I'm working on stuff for. And I reached what I'm gonna call like my biggest mental break slash panic attack that I've ever had in my entire life before or since then, which was like 3 in the morning. I wake up. We were in what, like my university paid for one room. So my dad and I each had our own bed. So he's in the same room with me. And I just wake up full panic, just scream, sobbing. Like I had lost my complete mind. I was like, I'm not going to make it, Dad. I'm going to fail. I'm going to fail. I don't know how I'm going to do this. This is just like, what the heck was I thinking trying to get this all done in 12 months? Like, I can't do this. And it was like divine intervention, like that my dad was there because he was able to get through to me. And it's just truly like love came to the rescue that day. My dad helped me ground myself and was just like helping me solution, like figure out, okay, what are some things we can do to help you out here? And I it had this random thought pop into my head of like, you know what? I do remember one student last semester that told me he'd taken this exact class from this exact professor. And I only met him the one time. He was super nice. I wonder if I could email him and get any like notes that he took on everything because the notes I have just aren't making sense to me. And so I did what is called inspired action, which is a huge manifestation principle that we're definitely going to talk about more in this podcast series. But I took inspired action, which was I have the idea pop into my head, it passes the gut check, and I go and I did. So I emailed this student that to this day, I don't even know if he knows. Because I really didn't have much contact info besides this email address, like that I guessed from just based on what my email address was at the university at the time. Well, it was his email address. And he got back to me within a few days and sent me all of his notes that he had taken. And these notes were like wonderfully put together. It was put in a way that I could understand everything. And you know what? I ended up passing the class. It was amazing. And Tyler, to this day, if you're listening to this, I just want you to know that you've made such an impact on my life with that one action. Whether or not you realize that, you doing that for me changed my whole life. And I'm so thankful for that. So, shout out to you, Tyler. You're a badass, and I appreciate you. But anyway, back to this story. So I pass my stats class. I go and defend my thesis. And the beautiful thing about defending my thesis, so first of all, was the days before AI and ChatGPT. So I hand wrote, or, wrote on Word anyway, my entire thesis, which was 50 some pages, all by myself through my brain. And that really sucked. And I'm really jealous of people now that they to get assistance from AI to write stuff because that was not my jam. I really hated that. But yeah, I defended my thesis actually in my hometown grade school because I was finishing that summer semester remotely. It was something that worked out because all my classes were remote and they allowed me to defend my thesis remotely, which was unheard of at that time, but they let me do it via Zoom. And it was just such a beautiful moment of like cyclical closure, you could say. So I was able to secure this room in my old elementary school because we're good family friends with the superintendent at the time. And she was also like, because she was accredited to observe like tests and stuff, I would go and sit in her office and she would observe me, I guess, taking my tests so that it was all good for, the school and everybody could buy into that. So anyway, she was able to hook me up with a room at the elementary school, which was not being used at the time because it was summer and school was not in session. So anyway, that just meant a lot to me that like the very building that I started school in as a kindergartner, I defended successfully my master's thesis and was given permission to graduate. And I did it. I had done the less than 12 months early graduation path that nobody thought I could do, and it just like was this weight off of me. It was amazing. And before I move forward, I'll just say the big moral of this story is that you do not need a perfect path. You just have to have that unshakable belief and openness to solutions. And if you can have all of those things, you can literally do anything you want to do. So, with that, how do you tune into the frequency of love? I already kind of talked about that earlier in this podcast, but how do you truly stay there? How do you stay motivated in a way if you don't have this big carrot of, oh, I miss my boyfriend and I'm not going to be able to see him really at all for the next year if I don't buckle down and do this? Like, I had that given to me as far as motivation goes, and I just had to put the rest into place. But, if you don't have something like that right now, what can you do? Um, I tell all of my clients and anybody who will listen to me really is that a gratitude practice is huge. If you can just wake up and start your day getting into the mindset of gratitude and thankfulness and love, that's going to literally carry you throughout the rest of your day. So when you wake up in the morning, if you can just for like 1 or 2 minutes, just sit down and write down or think and really feel all of the things that you're grateful for. It could be the fact that you have wonderful a wonderful fresh cup of water sitting next to you. It can be that the day is going to be beautiful weather. It can be that I'm going on a vacation in 6 months and I'm excited about that. Like it doesn't have to be these really deep things, but what is really important is that the feeling that you get from it when you think of these things that you're grateful for, that's the thing that you need to hold on to and carry forward with you. So, gratitude practice is huge. Do that daily if you can. And then you have to visualize yourself already having that success. So, in my example, it was that I wrote out a grad school plan and I just told myself, well, this could work. This can work and it will work. And I'm going to make it work. And I visualized myself being on the other side of it in a year, like off living with my husband and having a successful career and being done with it all. So, just the more specific you can get about what you want that outcome to look like in anything you're trying to work through, like just literally sit there, maybe after your gratitude practice, close your eyes for a few minutes and visualize what success looks like, and not what it could look like, but visualize yourself enjoying the spoils of your successes. And then another thing to do is to just remind yourself that it's working even when you can't see it. The universe works in really mysterious ways, and you just have to trust. If you're holding up your end of the bargain, which is you're putting in all of the work, you're getting your mindset right, and you're truly doing things that are only going to benefit the outcome, just know that the universe is working for you, not against you. It's working to give you all the things that you want, even when you can't see it. And you just have to be patient and trust that it's going to work out. And also stay open to unexpected help. Like I said, Tyler helped me immensely. Like you never know why somebody's intersecting with your life. You never know who just might come around and be like a really important person in the story of your life. It's just staying open to that and listening to your intuitive nudges, like to just do things that help you take inspired action. Those things are super important to listen to, because if your brain is bringing it to the forefront over and over again, don't ignore that. Sit through it, sift through the thought, and just be like, yeah, you know what? That actually could work. I'm going to give it a shot. If you don't give things a shot, it's 100% going to be a no or a fail, because you just didn't even start. So you might as well start somewhere. And then just remember that you are a powerful creator, that choosing optimism is choosing your highest timeline. Why would you consciously choose to have a worse life when you could consciously choose to have an amazing freaking life? Like, we can literally do anything we want to do in this life and on this planet. It's just about your mindset and shifting into these higher vibrations, these higher frequencies. And I just really want to encourage you to choose conscious optimism this week and just see what kinds of things it can do for you. So, again, talking about this gratitude practice, I want you to think of one dream or a goal that you have right now and just write it down. And then every morning for the next 7 days, I want you to spend 2 minutes feeling as if it's already done. I want you to just feel the gratitude and the joy and the excitement as if it's happening in real time right now. Just 2 minutes a day, and that's it. And let your energy lead the way and watch what starts to shift for you. And then I'm going to close this out by, if you're able to, guiding you through a guided visualization that can help you also to just achieve the goals that you have set and stay optimistic. So take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale slowly. And I want you to imagine yourself standing at the finish line of something you deeply desire. Maybe it's the business you're dreaming of, the book you want to write, the relationship you're calling in, whatever it is that lights you up. Feel yourself already there. Notice what it looks like around you. What do you hear? Who's celebrating with you? Now, I want you to notice how your heart feels. Feel the joy, the pride, the relief, and the gratitude pouring through you. I want you to let it fill every cell of your body. This isn't a fantasy. This is your future timeline calling you forward. It's already real in the field of infinite possibility. Your only job is to stay tuned into this feeling. Take one more deep breath in through your nose and exhale. Smile, knowing it's already yours. And when you're ready, open your eyes, carrying this energy forward with you. If this episode resounded with you in any way, I would love to hear about it. You send me an email or comment here your crazy dream that you're claiming with optimism, and go forward and crush it and make it yours. And if you want to work together, or you want to learn more about my services or about my story, you can head to unveilyou.co to learn more about me. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you have a beautiful week.